Holy heck, dude. It is hot today. On to the rust on the van. Put that to the side. Alright, you know in the fall, I went ahead and used Rust Doctor on this. This right here, I can't really say you could get in there really good. I'm going to have to take the fender off and tack weld up. Let me show you the other sides. This one right here. It's funny because I just painted the Rust Doctor on there. But you see, I'm getting little rust pits right there. So, right now I don't have, believe it or not, I don't have time is what I need. The Rust Doctor worked perfectly in stuff outside the elements. I Rust Doctored all that. Perfect. This was a big hole right here. I welded that on, but you see rust is starting to form underneath it. But this was a big hole. I tack welded that on. And this was my main concern. I was just at the doctor's office on the second floor, and I seen this is starting to develop back right there. So my thing for right now is I'm actually gonna not sand it per se all the way down. See this right here? This isn't that bad. This is about 1.5 years, and there's no gloss on that. No gloss. What I say all the time, you have to use gloss. Gloss is the protectant of the to protect it from the sun is horrible. The weather will really mess up your stuff. Okay, now this right here should have faded. See, that should have faded. This is a sticker, what a sticker looks like with the weather. I actually put gloss on this sticker right here. Duplicolor gloss. And the sticker still looks amazing. You figured I would duplicate my van, but I didn't, duh. So what I'm gonna do, this light's gonna have to come out because that's gotta be fixed really good. But all I'm gonna do right now is degrease it really fast, scrub it with apple cider vinegar and 1/3 apple cider vinegar, 2/3 water. Scrub it down, let it set for 15 minutes, scrub it back down with water, let it dry, and then put a little bit of primer, paint, and duplicolor. I'm rushed for time, and that's what always gets me on my own stuff that I do for myself. I never have enough time. This right here, I would love to do panel by panel and paint, but right now I'm just trying to maintain it so it don't completely rust out on me is all I'm really trying to do right now. So I'm gonna degrease it first. I tell you everything, degrease. Okay, these are the 2 degreasers that I use. Pre and Rust Doctor and paper towels. I got my Cafe Bustelo can here because the Rust Doctor I pour in here with just a little bit of water, and that's what I wipe it off with, and then I leave it in here because you could reuse that degreaser right here. Pre, you just spray on and wipe it down. It's really fast. Like I said, my van needs to be cleaned, but I'm not worrying about that. I'm just worrying about the rust. Okay, today I'm not using Rust Doctor. Today I'm using cheap distilled white vinegar is what I'm going to put in here. You see, just a little bucket, cheap distilled white vinegar and water. Got my hose running. See that thing in the ground right there? All that is dishwashing soap and water, and I keep it filled with water just in case me or my family member get a flat. I drop the tire right in there and it lets me know where the hole is. But this is just white vinegar. Don't fill it all the way up to the top if you're not going to use it all. Don't waste it. Just put enough in that you're going to use. You know, I'm going to put maybe about a cup of this and 2 cups of water. That's what I'm going to put in there. Okay. Oh, it's too much light over there. Okay. You see, I got a red scrub pad. I think it's like number 400s. Okay. Red scrub pad, 1 cup vinegar, 2 cups water, white distilled vinegar. And wherever there's rust at, that's what I'm scrubbing on there. Watch DIY Auto School, Southwest Rod and Customs, my friend Pete. I love him and Minnie. They give me so much good tips and everything. They inspire me that eventually this van is going to get painted. I really just have no idea when it's going to get painted because I'm doing so much projects and hobbies elsewhere. And even if I had the money to pay somebody else to paint it, I wouldn't. I still want to do it myself. Or have my friend Pete do it. Alright, so like you can see, I'm scrubbing this in on all the rust areas, the rust spots. This is white, the white distilled vinegar and the water. Wherever the rust is at is where I'm rubbing this in. And yes, I'm trying to get the rust out. But if I don't, whatever rust I don't get out, this will actually convert it. So I'm going to do this all over wherever I see the body rust at. This was a big hole in the van also, if you remember the video I did. Now you see the rust is going away, but there's a crack in there that I know it'll come back. So I'm gonna primer and paint over that. If you don't put gloss, if you don't top coat it, like I said, right now I'm just using duplicolor gloss. Duplicolor gloss will protect it from the sun and everything, but it won't protect it like 7 to 10 years like if you use a 2-stage gloss with a hardener in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand all this down, and I'll show you when it converts. But this is the panel right here. This is the panel right here. You can see that right there. That's gonna convert right there. Or you could check out, we'll check out this right here. That right there. Okay, be back with you after I finish. Okay, baby steps. You see that right there? Started turning black in there. Started turning black where the rust was at. Okay, the bad part of the van was on the other side. I'll show you that. This right here, still was the last part I did. All the rust is gone. No rust in there. I still gotta wash it off with water now. Next step is water. See this? You know, with the rust doctor, I think that's like paint that's in there. They're like rust painted in there. I don't know, but you see where the bare metal is turning black. Okay, this was the bad part right here. Chunks started coming out of here. That's gonna be a lot of work I gotta do with that one. Shouldn't have touched it. I'm gonna scrub that one down now that I put my grease in that sucker. I'm gonna scrub that one down again right now. And then here, I could use a touch-up paint for that. And here, see that? That whole line was rust. Look at it, crystal clear, like nice metal right here. Okay, so I'm just trying to save the metal. Like I said, I get time to work on everybody else's crap, but never time to work on my own crap. Oh, I'm gonna do this right now, right here. Okay, and I gotta wash it off with water. And then I'm not sure, I might use the rust doctor right now again. Actually, I really do like the way that worked. Although for finishing it, I don't know if I can sand it or anything like that. Although I really don't want to sand it. I just want to put top coat so it don't rust again. So we'll see. I'll let you know what I decide. And let me get some more scrubbing done right now. Okay, Houston, we have a problem. I washed the van. You've seen I sanded it with the 400 grit. And I just use a regular hose to wash it because I figured since after I do all the stuff with it, I'm gonna wait at least another week before I even wash it again. So I figured I might as well wash the whole van. But as I was washing this, more paint was peeling up. More paint was just popping up. So I'm gonna re-go over this one again with vinegar and water. Just this one though, with the vinegar and water, because more paint was popping up when I did that one. So just a little bit right there with vinegar and water. Let it set for 10 minutes as I'm drying the rest of the van. Still haven't decided yet if I'm going with rust doctor or primer or paint. Realistically right now, I'm thinking I'm going with rust doctor, paint, and gloss. Just because I don't have to tape off anything. Rust doctor I can put on with a brush. Granted, it won't look smooth, clear, whatever. That's not what this is for. This is just to stop the rust right now. Cleans up pretty damn good, doesn't she? That's a sexy beast right there. But it's just for these little things right here. This is Chicago, so I think she's holding up pretty good for a 02. My family calls her my big girl. So, like I said, I mean, I did spot little treatments right here, but it still rusts through. I know that I gotta take off the fender and weld that right there. And like I said, thanks to my friend Pete and Minnie the Body Shop Girl, Southwest Rod and Customs DIY Auto School. He was helping me to keep it up and running. Now the bottom down the road before fall comes, I really want to sand it, epoxy it, and do the same thing with the vinegar and water, you know, to get the rust down. Now right here, you see there's some bubbles there. I could really just sand it down, but it's so not for that right now, because eventually I want to do the body work on it. This is just to keep the rust down or stop the rust. So I've decided today to go with the rust doctor. 75 bucks. I think it was worth it. Heck, it stopped the rust in the Chicago winter, and I didn't top coat it or nothing. I just put the rust doctor on. So right now, the reason why I'm using it is because I could put it on with a brush. I don't have to tape anything off or nothing like that. I'm just gonna put it on with a brush. It dries as a primer. I might have to tape off a little bit to just put a coat of paint on it and then gloss over that, and then I should be able to set it and forget it for a while. And that's what I'm planning on doing right now with this. All right, so I'm gonna get the rust doctor and show you a little bit about it. See, reading is fundamental, boys and girls. Here's my rust doctor, my $70 bottle of rust. Well, $70 for the rust and the grease. Okay, I'm putting it in here to dip out of here. This way I can tighten this up, put rust doctor on it with a marker. These are my two brushes I'm applying it with right here. Okay, I already had the paint and primer out here. And this is why I say reading is fundamental. Alright, last time I put the rust doctor on, when I got my tack coat, after I started converting some of it, when I got my tack coat, I did my primer and paint. Well, after I read the bottle, it says do not top coat. Wait 16 to 24 hours for the vapor to completely vaporize before you top coat. So it gives me time, because I do want to get a touch-up pen to get more of the finer stuff, so I don't gotta overspray and overpaint everything on it. Also, one thing is, because I had a lot of stuff that turned like this, it looked like it was rust spreading, and actually is not rust spreading. What it is it's the rust doctor. See, like this, a lot of it all over the place, that I didn't degrease enough. So when I didn't degrease enough, the rust doctor just, that's the color it turns when you do not degrease enough. So that's all that was, that wasn't degreased enough. It says just to scrub it off with a wire brush and start again. So I don't like that this came down like that. That buckled out like that. There's rust underneath here, so I'm gonna deal with that another day. I'm not gonna peel that back right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the rust doctor on. Shake it really well. Shake it really good. It gotta be at a solid milky consistency, and I do know it converts. Also, when you reapply it, it has to be tacky, and it says everything's supposed to be converted black. Some of the stuff was gray. It says if it's gray, put another coat on it so everything is black. Now, I'm not going to sand it right now. I'm just going to paint right over the top of it after I'm going to wait the 24 hours. It's not supposed to rain for the next couple days. It's going to be supposed to be hotter than a devil's taint. So I'm just going to let it bake in there and dry and convert. And then after the 24 hours, I'll go ahead and the top roof is probably going to get top coated with perfect match. That's the color of my van. And I swear by this, if you know everything, anything I say, you always have to clear coat, top coat, clear coat, top coat. This right here is the single stage clear coat, top coat. I mean, you just went out a spray can and it lasts. But the better one is the two-stage, to mix it with the hardener. Because when you mix it with the hardener, it is better. The hardener lasts so much longer. And if you don't think top coat makes a difference, this is a sticker without top coat. And this is a sticker with top coat. I actually taped around here and top coated that sticker, and I did not top coat that sticker. That's why you should always top coat. Okay, we're back outside the big girl right now. Got this right here, and got this right here, and I got a sponge brush, and this is why I decided not to paint it, spray it, because I'm able to just come over it with a sponge brush. I go every way to make sure I get into every groove. This is the top of the van, so nobody's gonna see it. And when you're gonna put another coat on it, make sure this one's still tacky. Just like painting, just like anything painting, make sure it's still tacky. And if there's anything in here that is gray and not black, you gotta go ahead and, oh, I almost fell. You got to go ahead and put another coat on until it's all black. Alright, so I'm going to do this all the way around, and I'll be right with you.
Holy crikey, do you see what happened right there? It all converted black. Everything is black.
It really did convert the whole blotch. So what I'm going to do is actually, I still am going to put one more coat all around everything and then leave it. So everything did convert black. I'm going to leave it for the 24 hours all around the van. Look. That was the other one on the roof. And let me see if it's still tacky. Alright, well, it's still tacky. So let me get moving really fast, because it's baking really fast. So I want it to dry out, then I'll show you everything around. I wanted to show you this. Even where the rust was running, it converted that black. And see, there's a little bit rust running down there, so I'm just going to paint that whole line all the way down. But look, where the rust was running, it converted that black. So, and this right here, the whole thing's black. Thought I was lying when I said it was hotter than a devil's taint out here, didn't you? Look at this. Damn letters melted off my coffee cup. Alright, I'm about an hour later now. And truthfully, with this rust doctor, I personally feel if you were doing the car and you had a bad rust spot and you were to treat it with this at bare metal, and then scan it, get all the rust down, treat it with this before you start your epoxy or your filler or anything else, put this on the metal before you start anything else, I think it'll stop the rust completely. Let me show you this. This is where a bad chip was at. See, all the way up, a bad chip. And I mean, the metal itself, you can see the metal through there, and what was metal is metal, and what was rust is black, solid black. Now if I put the touch-up paint with clear coat through that, it should have rusted again for a long while. I showed you the top part already. This was another one. It was a little rust spot. Solid black. Solid black. Rust doctor got that solid black. Now this is where you're going to be iffy, but let me explain. This brownish right here is not rust. That's where there was grease underneath the rust doctor from the previous time, not this time. Now see the black? That's all converted black, 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 black. So if you would start this as a base, and then I don't even know if I would sand it, or you probably could sand it level, and then put your body filler over this, and then go from there, I think the rust should not ever come back. This is another one I had. Remember I told you I got a weld in there, but see this converted rust right there. Now this is where I really didn't care about, because it's the inside of the wheel well, but you'll see right here, everything's converted. Converted. Okay, now this right here, see, it's beautiful. I mean, this right here in 24 hours could be top coated. That's primer, and look at, it's all converted right there. Now if I were to sand this and paint it and gloss it, scuff it, paint it and gloss it, it'll be beautiful. The bad thing with sections like this right here is you really can't get behind this section. So you could kill the rust on the top, but there's rust behind it, you're not going to really get to it. Okay, remember this right here? There was the rust right there, gone. And I did some of the wheel well underneath there. Alright, this was another bad piece right here. This is going to flake, I know this eventually. What's bad is that with the water comes around here to right here and drips down and sits on this lip right here. I know that's where that's from, but I don't know. See, I don't know if this is a separate body panel than this or what. That's what it feels like, a separate body panel. So this is going to be hard when I actually paint the van to get in there. And then I did this right here. So this license plate's going to have to be covered. That's going to have to be. So right now I'm just going to use touch-up paint. So with all this, these little spots right here, I'm just going to get a tube of touch-up paint. This right here would be the only thing that I would actually tape off and try to fade that and blend that. The rest of it is touch-up paint. So either way, that was working with the rust doctor today and stopping the rust on my van. Within this next week, I'm going to go ahead and top coat it and gloss it, and then it should be done for a long while to last, at least 2 or 3 years. All right, hopefully I get my van painted. So subscribe, like, and share so I can do that. All right, bye.